Nigeria. I said, yes, I am. So if I compromise with you, I'm cheating because and you won't believe, even Christians. So you have come and you have told me to compromise. How am I sure tomorrow that you will not cheat me? So we must understand it. So one of the things that I came up with was the PPP model. I had the benefit of working with the current governor who was the MD. So he understood the model when he came in, and we came up with the PPP model. We have over 30 projects running now. And next slide, please. And those projects are projects that will benefit anybody. In fact, they cut across different parts of Lagos. Next slide. These are on the mainland. This is Ogudu. If you're driving from the toll gate towards the third mainland bridge on the right. So we have 4 schemes on that Ogudu. That land used to be there, was a swampy land abandoned. And then I divided it into 4, gave it to 4 different developers. We have different schemes there, duplexes, apartments, terrace houses. And the prices are available. You can always access this on our website. It's called, we have Davila, we have the Avenue, we have Toll Heights. This is just one of the schemes. Next slide, please. This is another one, Treasure Gardens in Lekki. This is Ajiwe on the Ogombo Road axis. We have also about 3 different sites there. Apartments, terrace houses. So now, these are done with different developers, private developers. So what we do basically is we give them land, they bring their funds, and then we sell for them, we help them, we market. We have the brand name as LSGPC. I have a long list of people who want houses, both locally and internationally. So I bring that offtake, I bring that to the table. Then I also, beyond that, I then went further to say, look, not just my own land. So I have land from institutions, banks, families, individuals. If you have good land in a good location, you bring it to me, I will develop it for you. So what I do is basically, I'll bring in a partner who is a developer, and I stay in the middle of the transaction, do a tripartite, structure the transaction, and then it's done. And then everybody gets what is due to them, and then it's done. So I ensure that I give it the government cover, ensure that everything that has to do with titling and documentation and whatever, so no government official will come and harass you and all that. So all that is properly done. So those are some of the value adds that we bring to the table. Like I said, we run LSBC as a business. For me, it's a business. So I tell them it's a business. So I bring my brand equity to such transactions. So cooperatives will come and then get land, develop for cooperatives, they sell to their members, and everybody is happy. So that way is not about is the government scheme alone. No, we also have private schemes that we can also help develop and structure. One area that I am believing God, I'm trying to work on, is developing estates for believers, for churches. I had a discussion with Pastor Paul Adefarasin, and he was so excited about it. So that's one of the things we must do. Next slide, please. We have other slides because of time. There are several other places you can benefit from. So I will just pause here so that... thank you. I'm so sorry for taking your time. Thank you.
Come on, celebrate. Wow. Come on. All right. Thank you so much. I know that there's a lot to say, and you really struggled with time. We will still allow you to speak to some of those things in your slide. Please be seated. God bless you. Thank you so much. We will still allow you to speak to a lot of those things you have on your slides. So anytime we ask a question and you feel led to go back to that slide to re-emphasize, you can do it. So we'll still give you a bit of time, we know. Again, I'm telling you, this is packed, fully packed. Right, it's fully packed. It reminds me of a football club that would only gather stars. What's the name of that club? Anyone knows? Anyone knows? So this is the Galacticos of, the real estate space that we're having here. We have the creme de la creme of great men who have so much. And what hits you? Let me tell you what hits me when Rev was speaking. 2 things. He said, those of you that will go and buy land, get 1 ram. You have already paid for the land in the ram. So you have eaten your land. I hope Frontline is not like that. Buy one Greenland estate and collect a Bible. All right. And then, in closing, he said something. I don't know whether you picked it. That he's working on something. What is that thing? Who knows? He did not say it's free for believer. Because the way you are shouting at me, it's not free. It's not free. Get ready. Tell your neighbor, get ready, get ready. We're taking over. We're taking over. Glory to God. Come on, celebrate him one more time. All right. We need to move very quickly. You can't afford to miss 2.0. I'm telling you, 2.0 is on already because we're going to be bringing them back with a focus, a laser focus for them to really have a deep dive individually, and we'll give them time to speak. But this time around, let's go to the land is green. Say the land is green. You know this man so well. I don't need to introduce him, but I will still introduce him nonetheless. All right. Seun Osigbesan is a highly accomplished business professional and an esteemed mentor. Of course, we know that upon graduating from the university, he ventured into a whole lot. Clothing, barbecue business, a whole lot. He's a minister of the gospel. We know he was here for several years working here and being part of us. Today, being driven by a profound passion to empower small businesses and to ensure that there is housing for everyone according to what the scripture has told us, that all of us will inherit the land, we have a portion in the land, and he's doing that fantastically well. Of course, he has led his own ministry as well and doing fantastically well. I think recently they moved into the city of Abuja, or is it you moved your branch into Ibadan? All right, fantastic. And so they're expanding pretty well. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome our own Pastor Seun Osigbesan. He's the CEO, MD Frontline Homes Limited. He'll be speaking to us for 10 minutes and then he will take his place on the plenary. God bless you. Celebrate him one more time. Come on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, I can see. Thank you. I didn't plan to speak, but I will just run through what I have. I didn't get the memo, so I'll just run through. I mean, I'm a pastor, so I speak for a living, if you get what I'm saying. So speaking is not a problem for me. I'd like to especially recognize the presence of Mr. Olusodo. Thank you for being here. Can you please give him a big hand? Let's celebrate him. Let's celebrate him. I mean, he's doing an amazing job, and we're so glad to connect with you and to see you here today. So once again, let's give him a big hand, big hand. And to the organizers of this event, we'd like to especially appreciate Pastor Emmanuel Ahevba and the leadership. See, you are lucky, I'm telling you. You are lucky. You know, this is a paid event, naturally, but you're here for free. So once again, let's appreciate them. You know, he said something about companies that would say, buy this, get this. It's very funny. I mean, there was a time we're having a meeting in my office, strategy session, and then so we're thinking of ideas and all of that. One of my staff said, why can't we do, I'm like, nah, it does not even sound, I mean, like he said, it's the RAM you are paying for and RAM you will get. You understand? I mean, and honestly, the truth of the matter is that there are a lot of fraudsters in this business. A lot. I'm telling you, as one who is also a stakeholder in the business, that's why you have to be very, very careful. The people you're buying from, and we'll get into that from the Q&A. So let me just run through this slide very fast. Real estate business in Nigeria, what's really in it? Can we move next slide? I'll just run through this. It's just 10 minutes, by the way. Where's the time? Okay, yeah. Next slide. Population growth and urban. Next slide. So the real estate market in Nigeria can be broadly classified into residential real estate, includes private homes, apartments, and estates. You have commercial. For example, this space is a real estate, engagement, right? So This is a commercial real estate. We have shopping malls, office spaces, hotels, and all. You have industrial real estate. You have warehouses like this. You have factories, logistics centers, and so on. And we have land, which is popularly known as site and service. So we have purchase and sale of land for future development or investment. You know, something funny happened. There was someone that said, okay, let me say it this way. The reason why a lot of people get duped is because they're looking for cheap things, overly cheap things. Somebody said to me, your land is a bit expensive. How would you be selling your land at this amount at so place? That I saw the same land for 500,000. And I'm like, okay, so how much did they buy the land? So they have plans to do anything on the estate? You say it's with deed and survey. They will give you deed. They will give you survey. In that same 500K, you should know that you lost money already. I mean, you just give them money. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. So the market comprises developers, real estate agents, property managers, financial institutions, and government agencies like we have DLS PDC, notable developers like Frontline. On the next slide. With a housing deficit estimated at over 20 million units, there is no way that real estate business would die in Nigeria. Because some of you've not given birth, and you still give birth. So the population will keep growing. So we have a major need in the real estate. I'm telling you, we even need more people in that business. We just need more credible people there. Because there is a lot of things. I mean, there are people that collect money and then they just go buy big car and all of that. And people are just all over the place, making a fool of themselves. And there are people who just want you to appear in a certain way. They say, appear this way because we can buy from you. And then you end up losing your money at the end of the day. So we have return on investment. If you buy right, you can buy a land maybe like he said, somebody bought, I don't know who said that, somebody bought a land for 5 million and sold, he said that, and 500 million in space of how many years? My mom, I was with her some weeks ago, she told me how that the land we built our house, they bought the land for 16,500 naira. That was like, I think it should be about 10, so that should be about 29, 28 years ago. And then now that land is worth about 20 million. My mom. So my mom is a millionaire. Right. So you see that. So, and there are people that say, it's far. It's far. If it's not far, the one you can afford, can you just buy it? Just buy something. You want to buy the one that is on the island and you are still on that ladder that Pastor Emmanuel Eba is talking about. You still... Can you just start from somewhere and, grow from there? Next. Diverse investment options, technology and innovation, prop tech. And that's why I'm glad my brother is here, Dr. Freeman. He will speak more about that. Next slide. The sector is heavily regulated and navigating the legal landscape, complex. Next. It's capital intensive, infrastructure deficit. Next slide, because of time, 4 minutes to go. Strategic location selection. Now, this is one of the wisdom that comes to real estate, where you can, before time, you can spot a location. And how do you do that? You look at the landmark. For example, anywhere you can see, go and check it everywhere in the world. Train station, it's always good for development. If you position yourself in that space, it's always good to look out for what can drive development in where you're buying your property from. Next slide, because of time. Compliance and legal due diligence. And let me say this. Now, why people get duped sometimes is because they are lazy. Yeah. Because some of these things are actually it's not rocket science. Buying land is not rocket science. Once you identify what you want to buy, there are several things that you need to do, and we will go into that in the course of the session. All right? Just if you do those things, you can be sure that the land is legit, and then you're not going to lose your money. Next slide. Next slide, 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 next slide. Thank you. All right. So, I did this in record time, so I still have some 2 minutes left. Right. So, there's a lot to learn today. I want to encourage you. You cannot have everything stored in your brain. Write it down, write them down, ask questions, ask questions, ask real questions. If you have questions bothering your mind, maybe you've lost money before. Now, like Pastor Emmanuel said, this is still the realest, investment you can have. So you may have lost money in the past. Maybe you didn't do your due diligence. You can try again. You can try again. There are people that say things like, I'm not doing this because my father, somebody told me that his father warned him that don't buy land in Lagos. That his father warned him. Where do you want to buy if not Lagos? Where do you want to buy? You want to go and buy in your hometown? Where do you want to buy? Yes, you can buy in other places, but you need to have something in Lagos. Imagine that the land or the house you have in your hometown is in Lagos. You'll be better off. Any witness? Yeah, some of you have houses. Your father have maybe 3 houses. The cost is not up to 5 million. But imagine that he bought at VI. You'll probably not be here this morning. I'm just teasing. All right, so my time is up. Just 1 minute to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Please have your seat. God bless you. Can you please celebrate Pastor Shane for me? Can you just go ahead and celebrate it? You can do better than that. All right, they just had to pick points in their presentation, but we'll have time to ask them questions, and we'll go deeper into a number of those things they want to share with us. Now, media, can you please put up for us? There's a Slido link. If you have questions already, you can either get a sheet of paper or you just slide into slido.com using that code and put your questions there. You're free to ask questions anonymously, or you can put your name in there so it can be personalized. All right. So feel free. Slide media, can you throw it up again? They don't need my face. I'm already a fine man. I'm a beautiful and handsome and gorgeous. Yes, in one person. Beautiful, gorgeous, handsome, lovely, wonderful, awesome, glorious. All right, so let's have the Slido on there. Please slide into slido.com and start asking your questions. Someone will say, I inherited a land from my father. It's still in the village, far, 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 far. What can I do with that land? Sorry, I hope they've not collected. Village people has not collected the land from you. You didn't do anything to that. But we have people who will speak to that. What you should do to the land, immediately you acquire it. Steps you need to take immediately, or if you're still thinking about it. Now, they say in real estate that you do not wait to buy. Can you say wait to buy? You don't wait to buy. Tell your neighbor, you don't wait to buy, but you buy to wait. You buy and you wait and see. From 5 million, he bought. And he waited. That person waited till he became what? 500 million. Fantastic. So don't wait. Don't say it is too far. Just go and buy it, and then you wait. It will definitely appreciate. Now, this time around, we're moving forward. Don't forget, ask your questions, and the code is there on Slido. I'm bringing forward someone who will, again, change the landscape a bit and bring in the dynamism of technology into the whole discussion. All right? And that is talking about prop tech in itself. So I will be calling forward someone that we know so well, but let me just say just a little stuff around him before I bring him forward. Those of you here that you're saying, my son has to be a doctor by force, see doctors who are leaving the practice and selling land and making money for... All right, it's good to be a medical doctor. So, Freeman Oshonuga is a Nigerian medical doctor, of course we know, and is an entrepreneur as well. He's the CEO of Loyalty Business Network and founder of PropTech Hub Africa Incorporated. He founded the DFO, which is the Dr. Freeman Oshonuga Foundation, a charitable organization as well, to support orphans and people with disability in Nigeria. Now, of course, he studied medicine and surgery, like we've been talking about, but in 2013, he was named Young World Ambassador. A year later, he received the Sierra Leone government's Presidential Meritorious Service Award for his role in the containment of the Ebola virus in Sierra Leone. In 2015, he was named a Wired UK Innovation Fellow. And in October that year, he was among the 3 finalists just shortlisted to travel to space. He will tell us whether he went to space or not. I've been to space many times, actually. You should celebrate me. Celebrate me. I've been to space. But I do it in my dream every day. I just decide which part of the galaxy I want to go. I just say, today I'm going to Pluto. Off I go. All right. In 2016, he established Loyalty Business Network, a real estate network and marketing firm. And the firm was reported to have hit 20,000 realtors by February 2020. Of course, in 2017, he was listed as one of the 100 most influential young Nigerians and selected as one of Nigeria's top 10 real estate disruptors of the 2020. I mean, there's so much I can say about this friend, brother, and a family of ours. Ladies and gentlemen, with so much joy, make welcome Dr. Freeman Oshonuga as he speaks to us on PropTech. Please celebrate him as he comes. Celebrate him. Celebrate him. As you celebrate him, faster to this podium.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so very much to the leadership. I'm really grateful. Thank you for giving us the privilege to have this conversation. And it's very important I start by saying that my journey in real estate started in this church. I joined this church June 2016. So, and it was because I was getting married in July. So I came in here. And at that same time, I was doing financial planning also, So I was interested in investing in real estate. I was researching where to invest. So I was preparing for my wedding, and then I was trying to invest in real estate. But after that, wedding expenses. So I couldn't conclude that transaction on time. Then I was referring a lot of my friends to the agents, that I was talking to at that time. Then later, he now invited me to consider doing the business. I didn't like the idea, So I spoke to my wife. She encouraged me. But more importantly, I was in prayer department. Pastor Shegun was the head of our department. And I took it to God in prayer. Should I do this business or not? I remember that vigil. We used to have monthly, last Friday of the month vigils. And God led me to real estate. And I'm saying this story because somebody is in the audience at this junction. You're considering doing any business, any business, So my story can be an example of starting from nothing, to something. By the grace of God, we've achieved a whole lot, in the real estate space. So I started as an independent agent. Then I built my first company in real estate called Loyalty Business Network. And we've got several billions in sales. We've made hundreds of individuals millionaires. We've helped thousands of individuals to become homeowners. I've helped several companies in real estate to grow from nothing to something. Then from there, I built another real estate firm, and then another and another. And they're all doing very well. They're grossing great revenue. The grace helps us here. Whether it is any business you're trying to do, you can do it. Before I get into, my time is very short. In the build-up to this time, I've gotten a lot of feedback from people that want to get into real estate. Quickly, what is real estate? Real estate is what we are standing on. and whatever is on it and what is underneath it. Real estate is land and anything on it or beneath it. And because of that, there are about 6 different types of real estate. Already, because of the trending news here and there, there's a lot of smoke, there's a lot of fear, being created, and that will discourage a lot of people from either investing or take the necessary step. But my job today is to let you know that despite the fear, go beyond the smoke and focus on what is important. If you're going to make money from real estate, one of the first things you need to do is to kill the fear. Kill the fear. Don't allow the fear to paralyze you. So many people have not invested in real estate. They've not taken that first step because of so much fear, whether it's from their lawyers, whether it's the stories online, but you need to stop that fear and take the right steps. So what are the types of real estate that we have? We have about 6 basic types of real estate. The first one is residential real estate. Everybody woke up in a home today. You slept somewhere, you woke up from somewhere, and when you leave this place, you are going back there. And that is residential real estate. So when you, as a family, you are thinking about that your own home, that house that will belong to you, what you are thinking about is residential real estate. And in the journey of having a home or your investment, what is important is not where you desire. If you really want to do this real estate, you can't wait till you have all the money you need for it. The most practical step to do is to start from what you can afford. Start with what you have, where you are. If the money you have, so if that house is for you and your family to